And so everyone, we're finally here. I finally got to see Spider-Man No Way Home. After a whole year of waiting, it's finally out and I just saw it last night. I was honestly super hyped for it, but also a little skeptical because the trailers and the plot did make me feel a bit cautious about this. However, the early reviews started coming in and they were all positive. People were saying how good this was, and so that definitely made me feel so much better, and that made the hype for this movie even bigger going in. And right off the bat, the first thing I'll get out of the way is that this might be my favorite MCU movie ever. I know that kind of a drastic claim to make, but I honestly thought this movie was incredible. That's not to say it's perfect, there are problems, but the things that are amazing in this are truly monumental in my opinion. I can't begin to express my happiness with this movie. I have a lot of thoughts on this film and there's a lot I want to talk about, especially in the spoiler section. But I'll try my best to avoid spoilers in this first part of this review. So, what's the story? Well, ever since Mysterio revealed he hurried Spider-Man in the last movie, his life is being thrown into chaos. Police are after him, he's being hated by everyone around him, and it's damaging his life and his loved ones. So, after a while, he gets an idea to ask Steven for help, but he messes with the spell that causes it to go wrong, which leads to villains from the other Spider-Man movies to cross over. And I'm gonna stop there because that's as far as we know from the trailers and everything we've officially been shown. So yeah, let's just get the great stuff out there really. For one, Tom Holland is still proven to be an incredible actor, and this is honestly my favorite performance of his. There's a lot of things Peter goes through in this movie, and he does a fantastic job in this. Like, there's some really incredible scenes of acting from Tom Holland in this movie, and the rest of it has a really fantastic, and I really enjoy Peter and MJ in this. I found it not terrible, but nothing amazing and far from home, but with like, in terms of their relationship. Here, however, where I really liked it and I thought they worked really well off each other. Same with Jacob Batalon and Ned. Yeah, and he's so fantastic in these movies, and the three of them in this movie have a really fun dynamic that was really fun to watch. I also like seeing Steven in this again, and Benedict Cumberbatch is still terrific in these movies. I also like the relationship he and Peter have in this. It goes in ways I didn't expect, and I really liked it. The rest of them are all so fantastic, and something else that's different in this film is that it sets itself apart from the other Spider-Man movies, and that this film is way darker. I'm obviously not saying why, but this is totally the darkest Spider-Man movie I think we may have ever seen, and I love that. I love how it feels like they're bringing the characters more and more into a show. Tom Holland Spider-Man started off as a younger teenager, and it was fun to see him like that, but ever since then they've been making his journey more and more a show, and I like how you see the circumstances becoming an adult more and more. And yeah, that's not to say that this is very dark. It's still fun and upbeat in a lot of the scenes, but you can tell that they definitely knew how to make this more of a darker story. And yeah, honestly, there's one part in particular in this movie that did make me cry. I'm not gonna lie, it really did make me cry. But really, and even besides all that, the film's also really funny. There's some really hilarious scenes in this, and all the jokes landed in my opinion. As far as the acting and visual effects, yeah, they're all great here. Okay, there are some effects that are kind of weird, but the majority of them and the action scenes are really impressive, creative, and really cool. The villains as well are all so great here, and yeah, it's incredible to see Willem Dafoe, Alfred Molina, Thomas Higgins, Here's Ray, Ivan, and Jamie Foxx all here and interacting off each other. Trust me, they're in this a lot. They don't just show up and have a small role. They have a lot to do in this. That was something me and a lot of other people were worried about, but they have a huge substantial part to play in this film, and their performances all around are really fantastic. That it was Willem Dafoe, in all honesty. This is a really great performance from Willem Dafoe as the Green Goblin. I was also surprised to find that there is a main villain in this. I just assumed all the villains were equal in this, but I was very, very shocked to see that this film does have a main villain. Another thing I have to say that I have to give a lot of credit to is John Watts. I think he deserves a lot of credit here. He did a fantastic job balancing all of this. This reminded me a lot of Infinity War and Endgame a bit, in that this is a huge movie with so many characters, but it's balanced so well. Honestly, this film just felt like the culmination of everything I've ever wanted in a Spider-Man movie. And we really get to see Tom Holland Spidey fight the other villains like Willem Dafoe's Goblin. That was something I wanted for a long time, and I never thought they would ever do. And it was and it has the phenomenal character writing I love about the Spider-Man character that makes him my favorite superhero ever. However, with all that said, is this movie perfect? No, it's not. There are some weird things in this. The biggest thing I can think of is some editing problems that felt weird to me. There's for example, there's that scene between Peter and Steven that we saw in the trailer when he goes to talk to him, and honestly, I thought that part was edited a bit better in the trailer, because the way it's done in the film is weirdly edited and put together. There's also one scene in a building where a lot of the characters were, and we barely see them together. They're just in single shots by themselves. It felt kind of lazy. I don't know why they did it like that, but yeah, just having all the characters in single shots felt kind of weird. There's a bunch of characters in one room, but we only just see them in single shots. We don't actually see all of them together a lot. We do, but there's not that many shots of all of them together, and they're just in single frame shots. So that was kind of weird to me, and maybe there's a reason for it, but I don't know, that just felt kind of weird to me to watch. Just as I was watching that scene, it did feel kind of weird, it was kind of weird, but that's really about it. Really, just some of my problems with the film were some editing choices, and while they can be kind of distracting, they don't really take anything away from the film. Really, this just feels like a movie that should be remembered just as strongly as Infinity War and Endgame because of how absolutely different and ambitious this film is. It does so many things that I've never seen in a movie before, and it should absolutely be remembered for being able to do something like this. It was also really cool to see some fan service with some of the characters too. There's some callback to the villains' appearances in the other movies, and it was really fun to watch. And there was so much nostalgia in this as well. So yeah, really, yeah, the hype for this movie is totally worth it. This is one of the best cinema experiences I've had in a long time, and I would say that this is definitely my favorite MCU Spider-Man movie. Maybe just my favorite Spider-Man movie, period, next Homecoming and Into the Spider-Verse. So obviously I'm recommending this. This film definitely deserves all the love it's going to get. Like I said, it's far from perfect, but I had an incredible time with this, and I can't wait to see it again. So and I can't wait to talk to you guys about this film more in depth in the spoiler section. So, but really, so that's really my review for Spider-Man No Way Home. Thank you all so much for watching. Please, if you like this video, and so I'm gonna go into the spoiler section now. So if you don't want anything spoiled, just click off from this video now, and you can come back and watch the rest of this video once you've seen it. So as for just this section, you can please like this video, please comment down below to tell me what you think. Please follow me on Twitter at Daniel Maloney, and Disney fan writer, Kingdom Hearts and Disney, please every day, and please subscribe for more content like this coming here, and I'll see you on next time. Take care. Alright, now we're gonna get into the spoiler section. Okay, there's a lot to talk about in the spoiler section here, so I barely know where to start. Obviously, the first big thing to talk about was with the beginning. Charlie Cox is officially back as Matt Murdock. I swear, as soon as he came on, I lost my mind. As someone who's been a massive fan of the Netflix show, and Charlie Cox as Daredevil in particular, and has wanted the shows and the movies to cross over at some point. This was insane, and even though he was only in it for just 2 minutes, that whole part was easily one of the best parts in the whole movie, and I adored it. I cannot wait to see more of him, and it was especially amazing to see him and Peter interacting. Just the fact that Peter was the first person he interacted with in the MCU, or at least the larger MCU, that was just amazing for me. Okay, so I guess the next one is when the villains really do appear. It was cool and funny when Peter was able to take control of Otto's arms, and he and them interact was awesome. It was especially cool when the Goblin showed up and then they just leave, and it was also cool seeing Lizard already captured. I also like how they redesigned Lizard. He looked different to me, and he looked better in my opinion than in the Amazing Spider-Man movie. I also watched Sandman for showing up to help Peter with Hulu, and it was nice to see them team up against Electro. It was also cool to see how they fit Max and get him his body back, and then the fight with Peter and Steven when he tried to send them back was awesome. I love seeing Steven using the mirror dimension, but Peter is able to still see him. It was also cool when Peter goes back to the villain and Norman said, "I'm something of a scientist myself." That was the part of the villain's reference in the other movies that I mentioned before that I thought was cool. I also love the scene where Peter and the villain go to his apartment so that they can help them. That was that one thing I mentioned that was kind of weird with how at how everyone was in single shots. But that scene was still awesome. But yeah, just how they had the villains in just one single shots and not really in many wide shots. It ever was kind of weird for me, but it was still cool and it didn't really bother me that much. But the scene was made even more tense when the Goblin came out of Norman and he convinces the villain to go bad again. And honestly, I'm not gonna lie, the part where May died was the part that I said did make me cry. I really didn't expect to cry in this, but that scene really did make me cry. And Tom Holland and Marissa Tomei's performances were a big help in that. And then the biggest spoiler in the whole movie, Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield both return as Spider-Man. I'm telling you, as soon as they came on screen, my audience just roared and I was the same. After all these years and after so many fan theories, they finally did it. They really did the gigantic crossover with the three big screen Spider-Man, and I loved it. I'll be honest, I was kind of nervous about how maybe that would destroy this film, but no, it just added to it and made it absolutely phenomenal. I couldn't believe it when they came on screen, and it was amazing. And seeing the three of them have the traditional MCU banter was also great as well. They worked off each other so well, and I couldn't believe what we have been in. I was just asking what the style when they had their scene together, and really the performances from all of them really showed the chemistry between them and made it all the more fun to watch. And seeing the three of them fighting alongside each other in the final battle was a dream come true. And honestly, my favorite shot in the whole movie was either when they were all running together on that catwalk or that small building or something, or when they all landed on the Statue of Liberty. That was so cool. Plus, the way they all get there with Ned using magic was totally surprised me. I didn't expect to see that coming at all, and I loved seeing how they actually gave him more to do in bed. And not only were the interactions between the three of them great, but also the interactions with the villains. I love seeing Garfield talking to Electro and Ben Maguire talk to Otto and Sandman. And I think they even kind of make amends as they're kind of cheering them. I especially like seeing Garfield and Matt talking, and I love seeing the reference. And I'm pretty sure I loved how they straight up made a reference to Miles Morales when Matt said there must be a black Spider-Man out there. That was really cool. And plus not only did they have that, but they just had a really nice conversation together. I really liked that. And plus, another one of the things I hoped they would do in this was when MJ fell. Me and a bunch of people feel like that when that happened, maybe Garfield was gonna have they're kind of making amends for not being able to save Gwen, and that's exactly what happened. My God, I could not believe it I cannot believe I really just saw that happen. But then it's really cool when Holland must see her just in that quick fight with the Goblin, and that was pretty brutal with the two of them just pummeling each other. And I really did think Maguire was gonna die when the Goblin stabbed him, but it was nice when they got Norman back as well. And I also love the ending with the three Peters saying goodbye to each other, but then it made even tragic when Peter had to sacrifice his whole existence distance to stop those beings from coming through, so he has to make it so that not a single person knows who he is. And his farewell to Ned and MJ was really sad and undersweet as well. And I really liked how Peter was able to make amends with Steven before he passed with Billy well. And I loved how it ends with Peter's existence being erased from every person's memory. And I like the scene that follows with him at the graveyard and him talking to Happy, who now doesn't know about him. And then he goes to the restaurant where MJ and where MJ works at and yeah, the conversation was really nice. And I also thought the ending made sense with Peter making that homemade suit and making it look like the classic suit, and it made sense considering he no longer had access to dark tech. And I like how he's basically been reset to layer 1, so he's probably gonna fight small scale battles things again. And yeah, I just love the ending of this. So yeah, really, yeah, Victor has everything I could ever want in a huge, epic Spider-Man movie, and it totally delivered everything it was aiming for. I just couldn't hold my excitement while I was watching this, and it was such a cinematic experience. As far as the mid-credit scene, it was kind of weird. We just see Eddie from the Venom movie talking to someone, and then he beamed right back to where he belonged. Okay, yeah, that was kind of annoying. I was really excited to just see them interact with Tom Holland in some way, but that didn't end up happening. I did love how there was a small piece of symbiote left over, which means that there could be a Venom in the MCU. But yeah, it was annoying that we only see this Eddie in it for just 30 seconds without him meeting anyone, and then he's just put right back. That was pretty disappointing. But it doesn't take anything away from the film, and I am excited to see what that symbiote piece does. And the actual end credit scene with that Doctor Strange into the Multiverse of Madness trailer was cool as well. So yeah, overall guys, I cannot express my love for this movie enough. I am absolutely recommending seeing this, even if you've seen it already, because I'm definitely gonna try to see it again. As far as the MCU this year, this is definitely my favorite thing to come out of it, and I had so much fun with it. So yeah, once again, my review for Spider-Man No Way Home. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you all liked this video. If you did, then please like this video. Please comment down below to tell me what you think. Please follow me on Twitter at Daniel Maloney, and Disney fan writer, Kingdom Hearts and Disney. Please every day, and please subscribe for more content like this coming soon. I'll see you all next time. Take care.